Shade cloth can protect a garden, but it's only one part of the setup. We've got a new shade structure that comes with the shade cloth and all the connecting hardware to DIY your own shade structure wherever you need it. This kit gives you shade cloth, hardware, connectors, bracing, and instructions for a dedicated metal shade structure. Just like our DIY structures, you're going to source the metal locally so you don't have to pay for crazy shipping and to keep that cost down. Let's talk about why a dedicated shade structure helps. Sometimes you have an area of the garden that doesn't require a full hoop house. Sometimes you need one for reliable shade zones for starts, tender crops, shoulder seasons, flowers, grow bags, and sometimes you just need a nice work area for staging and for doing outside activities not in the hoop house. And for some folks, you may not have room or budget for a hoop house, but you still want to be able to use the same shade cloth that the pros use, but you don't want to put it on something that you have to worry about, is it going to stand up in the rain or during a storm? You need something solid, you need something permanent. This is our DIY shade structure kit. It's built to hold shade cloth over a small growing space. It's not a greenhouse conversion kit, and it's not designed for greenhouse plastic. I do want to know how you guys plan to use the shade cloth and what your needs are. So as we're thinking about shade cloth and other structures, we're keeping your needs in mind. Go ahead and leave us a comment down below and how you plan to use these shade structures or any other things that you're thinking about. That really helps us not only in product development, but to help make videos for you in the future. The reason the long pipe is sourced locally is simple. Long pipe is expensive to ship, and instead of packing oversized pipe in the box, this kit gives you the shade cloth, hardware, connectors, bracing, and instructions. The manual shows what pipe to buy locally for the 10 by 10, or in our case, a 10 foot by 20 foot long. And because we have these 4-way cross connectors, they can expand indefinitely. It's the same metal that we have you use for our DIY hoop houses. They're heavy duty, they're not out of a box, out of a big box store, and it's something you can rely on just like the pros. So I'm going to let you see a picture of this product in the R&D last winter. And while I never want you to keep shade cloth on during the winter time, and it's not meant for it, we did leave it up to test whether it was going to hold up to wind and rain and everything else during the course of a full year. And in this photo, our original design easily held about 10 inches of snow. You kind of see it sagging in the middle. It's not great, it's not ideal, but it does show the strength of the kit when in full use. But again, take your shade cloth off in the wintertime, you don't need it. Before you build, decide what you are shading. Decide the height of your crops before you cut the uprights. One thing to keep in mind, and it's a little counterintuitive, is we have this pretty low to my head. And if you think about as the sun comes up over there and as it comes through in the afternoon sun, you would think, well, if we raise it up, we get more shade area, but that's not necessarily true because when the sun comes through at this angle, we start getting afternoon sun. So there's a couple of things you can do. One, we kept this to where we're going to work under this. We're going to be walking through here a lot. So I wanted that headroom. We also have crops that aren't going to get much bigger than this. I wouldn't necessarily do this for tomatoes or anything else in our setup the way we have it. If I was growing in ground, it's definitely a possibility. The other thing you could do if you wanted to, and if you're really worried about afternoon sun, is you could lower one side and pitch it at an angle depending on where you're at and what other obstacles around your place you had to deal with. Just remember, the taller you go, the smaller your shade footprint. The build starts with 10 foot by 10 foot corners, and then drive the ground post into the ground with the supplied ground post driver to set the uprights. In this case, we put ground post into the ground. But if you're in a different situation where maybe you want a shade cloth over some concrete or a deck, we do have these floor flanges that you can add onto your kit where you can either anchor those into concrete or screw them into a supported deck. The build itself consists of the ground post, the vertical bars, into these 4-way connectors so you can go long or you can add multiple sets together. Then you have the horizontal bars that make both the length and the width. And then we have braces connected by brace bands, carriage bolts, and then the bungees hold on the shade cloth. Let's put it together. So you have your ground post, 2 foot in, 2 foot out. This is a good time to put in brace bands to slide up. For your corners, you'll need 2 for the uprights, and then as you slide down your brace bands before they go into the connectors, you'll need 1 for each corner. The only time you'll need 3, if you're connecting 2 or more kits together, you'll have 1 on both of the long and 1 of the width. When the appropriate number of brace bands are slid on, they go into the ground post. My suggestion is to get a small piece of pipe, put this inside of the 4-way, and then use that almost like a shim to then do the set screws. And as long as it slides out, you won't have any problem during the build. So once your posts are set, And once your middle is set, if you're connecting more pieces, it's time to slide in your longer parts right here. And I keep things a little loose as we're putting everything together. From there, you can go ahead and put your cross pieces on. And here's what we did. We did not adjust this pole height until everything was set and secured on top first, because this is a known point. And so then we were able to take a level and just put it on top of the bars and raise this side up or lower this side down on all 4 sides, so we have a nice flat structure. So once we had these level on both sides, we went ahead and put our tap bolt on here to hold the height. To attach the shade cloth, we simply come from the bottom, put the ball on the grommet, and it doesn't need to be overly tight because as you go around, it'll tighten up. One little tool that we had was a magnetic base that had a dial on it, and that kind of helps us set our angle at a 45 degree. I did leave this part on in case I ever wanted to go a little bit further. If you wanted to take this off, that's totally up to you, just cut it off, but we can always extend this later on if we need to. And it's the same thing with this open-ended on the 4-way. If we ever wanted to keep going over this particular garden, we can just plug that right in, put another set of uprights, and keep on going. The shade cloth that's supplied has an 8-year warranty against UV degradation, and the even spacing, hemmed edge, and grommets assure an even pool for a nice flat shade structure all summer long. But it's not a set it and forget it. Couple things to think about maintenance-wise. If you live in a place that's leaves are dropping, you're going to want to get those leaves off of the canopy. Number 1, it's going to block the sun that still needs to filter through to the plants. And number 2, you don't want a bunch of stuff on there building up over time, getting dirty. Just like anything else at your garden, a little bit of maintenance goes a long way. And at the end of the season, likely around time change, a simple take off of the bungees, fold it up, put it in a tote box with the bungees, and it's ready for the next season, which means this is going to last you even longer. So thanks for watching this video. We hope you found it valuable, not only to think about shade cloth in other ways other than just a hoop house, but to think about how you can extend and keep everything in your garden happy, from plants to you. So you can see right now, I'm in the shade, plants are getting in the shade as the sun is coming up, and it's a real good indication that this is comfortable and this is a little brighter. So we hope you enjoyed the video. We hope to get you under shade soon, and we'll see you next time.